Okay, and good morning, everybody. My name is Brother Mark. I'm one of the licensed practitioners here at CSL Redlands. And I invite you to join us for this morning's meditation portion of service. Let's just take some easy and deliberate breaths in and out together, just gently at your own pace. Easy exhales out, releasing anything and everything that has preceded this moment in time. We let it go with our breath, just leaving it be. And with an inhale, let's take in the divine breath, however that appears to you in your mind's eye. Just see radiant light and love, intelligence. We breathe that in throughout the body temple, and just gently release and exhale anything and everything that does not match that perfect divine breath. Just let it go. Inviting you to become comfortable in the chair or couch, wherever you are, whatever is supporting you. You may want to gently lay your palms open, receptive mode on the top of your thighs. Remember to keep this breath going throughout the meditation. Inhale in that divine breath. And again, exhale and surrender easily and effortlessly anything that does not match that perfect divine breath. Just to return to your normal breathing pattern now. And how good it is to be reminded that this power and this presence, this love, this universal intelligence of good that made each of you perfect, whole, complete, is here and now in this place. It's in this space. It's in me, it's in you. And indeed it is in our very breath. It animates our very life. And so I invite you to consider allowing for this time of sacred stillness and eventual silence to be held. What would it be like for you to be held in the arms of the divine? Perfectly cradled in a way custom made for you. And perfectly rocked, perfectly nurtured, perfectly recognized as the divine I am. Perfectly cared for with unconditional love, grace, intelligence, and surrender. And if you're willing, just join me in this place where you are perfectly safe, unconditionally loved, universally recognized, whole, complete, and perfect. And following with this theme of perfectly held, cradled, rocked, are you willing to allow yourself to be completely nurtured now? You may see in your mind's eye some sort of root system or umbilical cord to the universal good, the source energy of the divine. If you're willing, allow for that root system to go deep, deep now into Gaia, Mother Earth. And each root knows exactly what's needed to maintain, sustain, heal, allow for a perfect manifestation, demonstration, revelation. These are your roots to the One. If you're willing, surrender those as deep as you wish now to receive the good that is yours now. As you are willing, allow for the root system to go even deeper now, to grow even wider now. No need to label the roots. With faith, know each provides sustenance, nutrition, perfect energy, vitality, wisdom, unconditional love, grace, and surrender. Feel yourself receive this energetic nutrients most needed for your soul at this very moment in time. Surpassing any blockages in the conscious or unconscious, subconscious. They reach you with your willingness. Are you willing? Everything needed reaches you with your willingness now. Are you willing? Perfect health, perfect vitality. Perfect supply. Perfectly nurtured, infinitely maintained, divinely sustained. The nutrients are custom made for you. Allow them to infuse you with your highest and best good now. If you're willing, use all the senses. Each breath in infuses what is most needed now. Each exhale naturally surrenders anything lower, anything no longer needing, no longer serving. Easy release, easy inhale. Just allow for the heart space to fill with gratitude. even more gratitude with each breath in and every exhale out. Just a field of gratitude. You are in the overflow of the all good now. Just feel that for yourself. I am in the overflow of the all good now. With the awareness of this gratitude, I invite you to use your breathing now to bring yourself back, slowly and gently, just to this very moment in time. We'll call it now. Just easy breaths in and easy breaths out. I'm grateful for this root system, this umbilical cord to the divine source and supply that maintains and sustains. You may want to just go ahead and shake that off your feet now, being certain you can be released from it now, knowing that at any time it always supports, sustains, and maintains you. And just when you're ready and in your own time, allow gently for the outer eyes to open, with each breath becoming keenly aware of the place, the space, others in your space, others in the place. And so I just invite you to consecrate this entire physical building with all the good that was received this morning, so that each person who walks through the doors is able to receive it from your work in the stillness and silence and meditation. How grateful to each of you I am. And this concludes our meditation portion of today's service. Namaste.
Morning, everybody. Thank you, Brother Mark. That was lovely. So we had that metaphysical moment there. And I think these services they move us from the physical to the metaphysical and back and forth a little bit so that we can keep in touch with what is beyond our obvious everyday experience. But right now, we're just in that good morning mode. The sun is up, it's a beautiful day. It's gorgeous here today. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice, repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together, we come together in the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice, repeat after me. We come together, we come together. We come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love. From every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the love in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice, repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love.
Thank you, Al. Wonderful music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Thank you all. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Redlands. My name is Joe Nelson, and I'm a member of our center and a student of this teaching. Our center is an open and inclusive community that honors all from every background, all races, sexual orientations, gender expressions, and spiritual paths. No matter who you are or where you are on your journey of faith, you are always welcome here. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence, and our vision is a world that works for everyone. If any of you are here with us for the first time, raise your hand. I don't think I see anyone new. Oh, Holly, you're not new. Trying to trick us. Cute. We're so happy that you're with us here in person for our service today, and we're so grateful for your presence. If you are joining us remotely, thank you for being with us this morning. Welcome and enjoy our service. Oh, and now some century music here with Mr. Yankee.
There we go. Thank you. So now we move from the physical to maybe touching on the metaphysical just a bit. As I give, so do I receive. As I think, so will I believe. Things can seem so difficult, heavy on my mind. In that divine discontent, reach down deep and find from within and to the stars above. As I love, so will I be loved. Glow in the perfection. Feel that sweet connection and grow in the perfection. Oh, the sweet connection. From within and to the stars above. As I love, so will I be loved.
And so, good morning, everybody. My name is Brother Mark. I'm one of the licensed practitioners here at CSL Redlands. And thank you, Al, for the beautiful centering music. So the words, the lyrics about connection. Can you do that again for so we feel that within our prayer? Inviting each of us watching remotely, each of us presently in this space and place, to turn within, however that's comfortable for you. If you would like to allow your outer eyes to close, it gives you a chance to open the inner eye, the seer, the knower of all. Would you give us a couple and then we'll go in?
Glow in the perfection.
Feel the glow of your perfection.
Feel the sweet connection.
Feel the sweet connection.
Grow in the perfection.
Grow in the perfection.
Oh, the sweet connection.
And so we turn within to this power and presence, this love, this grace that powers each of us perfectly, wholly, completely. From the meditation, you may recall it as a root system of good, an umbilical cord to all the nutrients, all the spirits and qualities of God that are here and now, yours, just for the taking. Are you willing to take your highest and best good now? If so, just say yes, yes, yes. And with your breath, let's breathe that in. And with the exhale, let's exhale out anything and everything for the last time that no longer serves you for your highest and best good. Just release it, thank it for what it did. Surrender it now to Gaia, to Mother Earth, to vanquish into something good. to be transformed and transmuted into this grace, this peace that passes human understanding. For sometimes when we are in the physical, it can be so painful. And so knowing that this power and presence created me perfect, created you perfect, whole and complete, it is from this place of unity and oneness that is the platform for which this word is spoken this day, knowing that everything that's for your highest and best good is yours right here and right now, just for your proclamation of it. Are you willing to proclaim your good? If so, just say yes, yes, yes. And so all the lower frequencies, all the reminders of the human condition can surrender now, crack like an egg, be gone, disappear, vanquish, just like the shower water goes, just like the rainwater goes to the ground, just like the shower water goes down the drain, never again to surface and reappear, but instead be replaced with the truth that God is at hand, that life is at hand, that this universal intelligence is at hand. It's within you. It supports you. It sustains you. It maintains you. And so I just am grateful for this. I'm grateful to know this truth and to speak the word. I'm grateful to speak a word, that this word that's so for me, this word that's so for you, is so for every single sentient being. Just feel that. Feel what that's like to have that oneness. Send that oneness and love, intelligence and light surrender from our rooftop of this building in Redlands throughout the world. Just see that creep throughout the world now. And for the world's highest and best good now. For where there is war, let there be peace. For where there is famine, let there be food. Where there is need of shelter, let that be supplied. For where supplies are needed most, let them reach. Where medications are needed most, let them be reached. Where vaccinations are needed most, let that be reached. Let this intelligence have its full sway in, through, and as everyone, for the highest and best good of all. For indeed we are one, brother, sister, with our sentient beings as well. Life indeed is good. Do you believe that? If so, breathe that in and say it out loud. Life is good. Life is good. Life is good. So with a grateful heart, I just bless this service as it continues to unfold with ease and grace and joy and a sense of celebration and playfulness. I bless our senior minister, Reverend Carrie Masters, and she is indeed our spiritual leader, knowing that every word she speaks today is custom made for you. Custom made for you in person, where we have two or more gathered in this awareness and energetic frequency that allows for healing to take place now, that allows Holly to say she is here for the first time today, because she is the new Holly today and every day. And so I just invite each of us to celebrate and revel in this good. Just feel that throughout the body temple, throughout the conscious, unconscious, subconscious mind. It's so good. It's so good. I see it like wash over a wave of each of us individually and all of us collectively. It's a tidal wave for your highest and best good. I bless David on technology. I bless Al and Gilman, our musical director, and the Dream Band. I bless our board and our practitioner corps. Let us have an easy and fun-filled meeting later. And we just know that whatever's needed for CSL Redlands is provided. On time, every time. It's the way it works. And so I invite you to know that with me now. And if we're in agreement with everything spoken, I know that anything unspoken was known in the mind of the divine. It's on your heart now. And we release and surrender it, knowing that it is taken care of, it is supplied, sustained, maintained, whole, complete, and perfect. Are you with me? If so, with a grateful and joyful heart, I release my word to the law of life, indeed knowing it is fulfilled, indeed knowing it is made manifest right here, right now. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you all very much. Okay, and so we have a couple readings. One is going to be, if it's okay with you, a few affirmations, and one is going to be the reading from the Science of Mind. Now, I'm going to read it through once, and a few of the lines we'll take out as an affirmation, all within the theme of this idea of prosperity, right, and abundance this month. So this is from the Extension Study Course to the Science of Mind, textbook volume 4. It says, Treatment for Supply by Ernest Holmes. I live and move and have my being in the eternal presence of God, the unlimited source of all supply. And I know that divine intelligence knows how to create its own channels of expression so that even in ways I know not of, my good comes to me. I state my need and unfold it in thoughts of abundance. The principle of increase manifests itself through me to meet every need of my immediate experience. I am an abundant person. I think and feel abundance. I live in a constant expectancy of an ever greater good. There's nothing in my mind that denies, rejects, or limits the flow of divine substance into and through my experience. There is only acceptance of God's presence and the activity of the divine law of increase. Infinite intelligence now instructs me as to the wise use of all the good I have, and there is that within me which lovingly shares and expresses the abundance that I have and the abundance that I am. I thank thee, Spirit, that thou hast heard and that thou dost always hear, and that the unlimited measure of thy spiritual gifts is set in my heart. Isn't that beautiful? So let's take a couple lines as affirmations with your permission. I state my need and unfold it in thoughts of abundance.
I state my need and unfold it in thoughts of abundance.
I am an abundant person. I think and feel abundance. I live in a constant expectancy of an ever greater good. There is that within me which lovingly shares and expresses the abundance that I have and the abundance that I am. Very good. And so it is. Yes?
Before you walk away, that dost thou hear?
Yes.
Those couple of lines, could
Sure.
you give us those?
What year are we in right now? That thou wish me dost. It's the last line. I thank thee, Spirit, that thou hast heard and that thou dost always hear, and that the unlimited measure of thy spiritual gifts is set in my heart.
That's exactly what this song is about.
Right.
All right.
You're going to play it?
I'm going to play it as soon as I have some microphone and some
Okay.
piano.
You're going to get it. I just have to do the last reading, and then we're going to do that.
Okay.
So then thou hast heard that, and thou will playeth. So the last reading comes from the Science of Mind, page 126. There's a constant action on the subjective side of life, and it is the unconscious process which decides what is going to happen in the outer experience. Whatever we think, act, believe in, feel, visualize, vision, image, and talk about, in fact, all processes which affect or impress us at all, are going into the subjective state of our thought, which is our individualized use of universal mind. Whatever goes into the subjective state of our thought tends to return again as some condition. So we and we alone control our destiny.
There we go. Thank you, Brother Mark.
Thank you.
This next song, I was actually working on a song at the time I first heard this, and I gave up on that song after hearing this one, because I think this is one of the best New Thought songs ever written. And it said what I was trying to say so much better than my attempt was. invisible, yet you see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, yet you speak of it with every word you say. That seems mysterious until you know the truth, that it's as simple as the love inside of you. You can call it God, or Spirit, or Jesus, or Lord. Call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angel's wings, or heaven's door. But whatever name you call it, it's just one power, don't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me. We speak in many languages. We're different clothing, we're different colors, different names. But difference only dangerous when we forget that in our heart we're all the same. We remember when we close our eyes to see that those distances aren't reality. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angel's wings, or heaven's door. It's Muhammad, it's your mind, it's your soul, or it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth, or Father Time. But whatever name you call it, it's one power, don't you see? Whatever name you give it, it's the very air we breathe. It's the power of the love in you and me. It's the moment of creation. It's an everlasting peace. It's the freedom of forgiveness, the sweetness of release. It's the joy of inspiration. It's the sunshine on your face. It's the birthright of all nations, the boundlessness of space. It's the beauty of a baby, the serenity of sleep. It's the anger you abandon for the love that's most deep. It's the power of the love that lies forever in you and me. It's the power of the love in you and me.
Wow, thank you. Thank you for singing that song. It always touches me in a very deep place. And I'm so happy that you chose that one for this morning, because we're going to be accountable for our consciousness. Do you realize that this morning, with all of those affirmations and the readings and the music and all of the beauty that we have created here, that we have created consciousness right here? Do you realize that? We are walking, living, breathing atmospheres of consciousness. Whoa. And we each carry around our own atmosphere. We each have it all the time. And if you go on a vacation, you know, we pack and we plan and all of that, and we put things in our suitcase, and we might forget our toothbrush, or we might forget an article of clothing we wanted to take. But we can never forget to take our consciousness, because it is always with us. So everywhere we go, there we are. So what's in your consciousness this morning? In the wonderful book, The Art of Abundance, 10 Rules for a Prosperous Life by Dennis Merritt Jones, he has a whole chapter on being accountable for our consciousness, because it is so important. Ernest Holmes describes consciousness like this. He says it's a mental awareness. It's both objective and subjective. The objective conscious awareness is equipped with will and decision and discrimination. It has self-choice, sort of like it has the choice to plant a plant or not. Subjective is a reaction to the objective. So the subjective knows how to produce the plant, but it's not conscious that it's actually producing it, because it just does it. Now, I know all of these big words and stuff kind of get all glopped up in my mind, perhaps yours too. But what I'd like you to do is visualize an iceberg where you have the top. You can see an iceberg from the water up. You can see how beautiful it is. But what you don't see below the surface is the huge amount of ice that is the rest of that iceberg. So we might say that the part that we can see is the conscious mind. It's the objective consciousness. And that which we cannot see down below the surface is the subjective. Does that make sense? You see, in Reverend Merritt's book, he says consciousness is the fundamental thing in existence. It's fundamental. It's always here. It is the energy, the motion, the movement of consciousness that creates the universe and all that is in it. You see, because who is creating when they're thinking? You should all be raising your hand, because every time you think a thought, you create something. Yes? Okay, yes. I have a hand raised in the back. You see, we create all the time through our thinking process, and everything that we think is in our consciousness. And everything that we think becomes a belief, and that's in our consciousness. So everything that we believe expresses from that place that can't be seen, and it produces our life. So if we look around our life, if we look around, let's say we look around a room in our home, and we see a lot of clutter. There's a lot of stuff there. Well, that's an outpicturing of the consciousness that is creating it, and you're the one that has the consciousness that creates it. Sorry to tell you that, but it's true. We must be accountable for what we think and what we believe. There's a wonderful story in here that I want to read you this morning. It says, once upon a time, a man seeking abundance and fortune traveled from town to town, never seeming to find a prosperous township that offered enough promise for him to remain there. And so on he would travel. One day, while walking to the next township, he approached a wise man who was just exiting the gates of the town the traveler was entering. The traveler stopped the wise man and said, "Kind sir, can you tell me about the town from which you have just come? What are the people who live there like? Are they prosperous? Is there abundance and wealth to be found there?" The wise man replied, "First, stranger, tell me, what were the people like in the last town you visited?" The traveler said, "Oh, they were greedy, a greedy bunch of people, and they looked out for themselves, and they were never willing to share a morsel. It was not a prosperous town. The people there were unwelcoming, suspicious, unkind, dishonest, and stingy. There was no prosperity or good fortune to be found anywhere." I shook the dust from my sandals quickly and would never go back. The wise man paused and then replied, "You best move on then, because I have a hunch you will discover that the citizens of this town are very much the same." Then, a short distance farther down the road, the wise man met another wayward traveler entering the township from the same direction and also seeking abundance and fortune. And the traveler asked the same question of the wise man. "Good sir, can you tell me about the town from which you have just come? Are the people there, what are the people who live there like? Is there abundance and wealth?" Again, the wise man replied, "First, stranger, tell me, what were the people like from the town from which you last came?" The traveler replied, "Oh, they were most generous people. Everywhere I went, they welcomed me with open arms and offered me comfort in their homes and community. I felt true generosity in spirit from everyone, and there certainly was no shortage of abundance there. Total strangers selflessly offered me opportunities to prosper in ways I could have never imagined. I would joyfully return and visit them again." The wise man paused and then replied, "Then you should enter this township with gladness in your heart, my friend, because I believe you will discover that the citizens of this town are very much the same." One town, two perspectives. Have you ever talked to someone who had such a different perspective about a place that they lived or a place that they visited that you really couldn't quite connect with them? Well, it's because your consciousness, your thinking, your belief about where you visited was quite different. You probably came from an abundance consciousness, yes? Yes, of course. I knew someone very well years ago who would drive around the town that we lived in, and he would look at people and say, "Oh, there goes another one of our town's finest." And he said it with such sarcasm. Every time he saw someone. And so everyone he met was someone that was below him in his mind or not wealthy in his mind. He had a belief about almost every person that he came in contact with. And he was always right, because that's what he ran into in his business dealings. And he didn't turn out to be very prosperous at all. So we need to make sure that we look into our consciousness to really kind of get an idea of what's in there. This all goes back to last week when we talked about being mindful. When we are living in a mindful way, thoughts and ideas pop up in our awareness, and if we're mindful, we catch that thought, and we know that we need to change it because it might be taking us down a road we don't want to go. An example, in my own life, in the past couple of weeks, I've been dealing with a little financial hiccup in my account, and our good friend PayPal has been the cause of that, however, a secondary cause, because something in my awareness was the cause, in my consciousness, caused it to happen in the first place. Does that make sense? So I'm taking full responsibility for that, and I'm making them responsible for what they have done. And so the little hiccup is slowly bringing itself back into alignment and righting itself. Now, the thing is that as I have been proceeding through each day and checking the accounts and talking with them and my bank and so on and so forth, I have noticed this little, it's like a little imp inside of me, or maybe sitting on my shoulder, I'm not sure. And it's talking about, oh, you better not spend any money this month. Oh, it's just gonna be awful. You won't be able to buy groceries. I mean, this little thing just goes on and on. And it gets old after a while, to tell you the truth. Have you ever had that little imp kind of talking to you and telling you how awful it is? So, whenever I catch that, I have been going, no, you do not belong on my bus. I am not going down Poverty Road ever again. So you may leave my thoughts. And I turn my thoughts to either something more pleasant or God herself. Yeah. Now, there's been a point in my life when I was a little girl. I had a critical parent who didn't realize that they were critical at the time. But what I understand now is that that parent was doing the best they could. But what I came to believe about me was that I couldn't do anything right. And I affirmed it all the time. I remember saying it probably 1,000 times when I was growing up. So that thought gets in my consciousness, and it just sits there like the bottom of that iceberg. Just sits there and waits for a prime moment to pop up and say, oh, look, I'm here. You can't do anything right. Yes, I can. You see, we get to change what's in our consciousness so that we can have a life that is a fulfilling one, filled with love and prosperity and all the things that we desire. But we have to keep an eye on the old consciousness there. There's a quote in the book that says, "From the beginning, humankind has been immersed in a unified belief that Carl Jung referred to as the collective unconscious, which is essentially the combined conscious and subconscious beliefs of every human being on the planet. At its core is the belief in lack." When was the last time on television you heard about someone being prosperous and abundant? Maybe the news might say that one time, have one story about someone who did something good and did something to make the world a better place. It's pretty rare because they feed on us and they produce fear in us, so we'll watch more. Yeah. So, and the thing is that we don't have to buy into that fear. We know who we are, do we not? We are the creations of the infinite, yes? Yes. All right. So if we're the creations of the infinite, we don't have to live in fear because love is where we want to live. That's the place where we can come from, where we can have our consciousness. Have this, I can see it as a large bubble of love that is within our consciousness. And it turns away all fear. In the scripture, it says the sins of the father are visited upon the children, or passed down to the children. And the word sin can be an acronym for self-inflicted nonsense. So the thing about sin is that it's a word that was used in the olden days. It's an archery term. Missing the mark is all it means. So if we are passing our fear down to our children, what we're doing is missing the mark. It's a very subtle thing to recognize these thoughts that bubble up from underneath in that large part of that iceberg. It takes the exercise of mindfulness to really catch that thought and turn it around so that we don't have to live in that thought. Let's see, where am I? Okay. From the book. The mistaken belief in not enoughness is inculcated in our species. It is the big green frog you must be willing to swallow if you are to set yourself free to fully explore the secret to life. And then he goes on, he says, to put it bluntly, one of the primary things separating us from unlimited abundance is our consciousness, and only we can change that. We're the only ones that can change it. So when we talk about the source being the divine, God, what we're talking about is our consciousness. We know that God is our source. There's a whole song that says, God is my source, God is my power. You see, God, the divine, the infinite, is our source. And it's because we live in that consciousness of knowing that we are divine. Yeah. So let's see. If I don't stop, we'd be here through dinner. So let's see. What we pay attention to is where our attention goes. It's what flows our consciousness. So if we are paying attention to movies and media of any kind that talks about how we should be fearful about this or that or the other, our consciousness is going to fill up. And then we have to empty that fear out. And we can do that by one little question. We can say, does a belief that doesn't serve me living in me today? Does a belief in not enough live here within me? And am I willing to challenge that belief and release it? That's our spiritual practice this week. Anytime you have one of those beliefs bubble up, then ask, am I willing to challenge it and release it? You see, we get to embrace what serves us and release what does not. Oh, I am so happy for that. When we are able to release those thoughts that come up and want to plant themselves in our consciousness, what we're doing is reclaiming our power. And if at any moment we feel powerless, this is what we can do. We can challenge that thought, bring it back around to know the truth about who we are. So the affirmation for today is this. Today, I am accountable for my consciousness. I am willing to release all sense of lack and live in a consciousness of prosperity. And so it is now. All right. So, one little piece at a time. Today, I am accountable for my consciousness. I am willing to release all sense of lack and live in a consciousness of prosperity.
And live in a consciousness of prosperity.
And so it is now.
So it is now.
Yes. Thank you.
Reverend Carrie. So it is now. Beautiful. Thank you, Reverend Carrie. I'm losing my illusions. Everything I thought was true. Yes, I'm losing my illusions. Everything I thought I knew. If God is all there is, and also God is love, well then love is all there is, you see. And if love is all there is, then everything I see is either love or unreality. And so I'm losing my illusions. Everything I thought was true, everything I thought I knew just falls away to reveal my blunder. My illusions all buckle under and give way to a sense of wonder down in my soul. I'm losing my illusions. Everything I thought was true. Yes, I'm losing my illusions. Everything I thought I knew. If there's no spot where God is not, and also God is good, well then good is all around, you see. And so if good is everywhere and love is everything, there's nothing else to see or be. And so I'm losing my illusions. Everything I thought I knew, everything I thought was true, just falls away to reveal the wonder that's above me and through and under. And it peals with a mighty thunder down in my soul. I'm losing my illusions. Everything I thought was true. Yes, I'm losing my illusions. Everything I thought I knew. So if everything I see, the world in front of me, and what I think and what I feel is ephemeral and seems to fade into a dream, all that's left for me to be is love. And so I'm losing my illusions. Everything I thought was true, everything I thought I knew, everything is love, it's true.
Thank you, Al. Once again. We have some announcements here. Here are the announcements for this week. Every Wednesday night on Facebook Live, practitioner Renee Hart facilitates a meditation and shares her weekly message. It is online at facebook.com/cslredlands.org from 7 to 8 p.m. All are invited. Our practitioners and Reverend Carrie are available after service each Sunday for brief prayer or conversation. If you are watching on Facebook Live this morning, message us with your request to speak with us and we will connect with you. You are invited to join us after service today for food and fellowship time. Thanks for joining us in person this morning in our sanctuary. And thanks to everyone who has connected with us this morning on Facebook Live and YouTube. Have a wonderful week.
Thank you, Joe. Okay, we're entering the time for our offering. And I want to point out to you that the little slips of paper that you have on your chair or at your table, one of them is a prayer request. And you can complete that prayer request and put it in the offering if you need prayer this week. Our practitioners then send the prayer requests around to our practitioners. It's held in confidence, and we make sure that we keep you in prayer all week. Now, our offering today, there's a new happy addition to our offering. David will be walking around if you want to give using a debit or credit card, and you can give 10, 20, or 30? Oh, 10, 20, or 50?
Multiples, any multiples if you want to just keep hitting the button.
All right. Hit that button. Okay. Very good. So we have that lovely addition as a way to give. We also are very happy to receive your offerings by hitting the donate button on our Facebook page or our website. You can also give using Venmo and Zelle and PayPal. You can write a check. You can bring your check by the church if we're not here and put it in our secure mailbox outside that door, or you can drop it in the offering bag, and yes, we do take cash. So let's open ourselves, our minds, our hearts to the law of abundance, to the law of circulation. And so we're going to repeat our offering affirmation together. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and my belief.
It is evidence of my faith and my belief.
It does great work in the world. It returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. So grateful. I am so blessed. So grateful. I am so blessed.
Thank you, Al. Yes, we are so blessed. And I loved how David was dancing around the sanctuary holding his little credit card thing while you were singing. We are so very blessed. So we're going to enter into our closing healing prayer. I'm going to invite you to just join me in that silent place where we can turn within to visualize the light that is within us at the core of our being, there is a beautiful light that shines within us. And this light is always burning abundantly. And I know that this light is abundance in every way. I know that every gift that we have been given this day is already blessed. I know that everyone who has given this day is blessed. And for all of those who could not give today, we know that the attitude of prosperity and abundance is already infiltrating our consciousness, so that we attract all of the substance and all of the supply that is already ours to have. And so we give thanks for the abundance, for the gifts, for the life that has already been given. I know too this day that this center is a blessing to this community. And the light that shines at the center of this center moves outward into the community to bless everyone. All who think about us, all who walk by this building, everyone who is touched in some way is lifted up and inspired to be the greater person that they are here to be. And so I know that each one of us this day moves forward into our day knowing that we are creating a consciousness of healing, a consciousness of love, a consciousness of prosperity and abundance. We are creating that consciousness that allows us to live life full out in joy, in grace, and in perfection. And so I know that each one of us becomes a blessing to everyone that we contact, and that blessing ripples out into the universe. I give thanks for this center and for all that it is. I give thanks for each one of us who attend, who volunteer, who do their work for this center and give in so many beautiful ways. And so in my gratitude, I release the words that I have spoken into that divine creative process we know as the law. And as that law brings forth and manifests all that there is, all that has been spoken, all that is in our consciousness, we simply give thanks, knowing it is full, complete, and done in this moment. And so we let it be, and we anchor it together by saying, and so it is. Amen. 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 Yes. Thank you. I did the blessing of the offering with the closing prayer. Did you catch that? That's pretty cool, huh? All right. So that concludes our service for this morning, and Al is going to play us our last song.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Woo!
I know some of you know this. I need your help on this. It's a kind of a call and response. So I will go, oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Then you go, let me love in a holy, holy way. Can we try that? Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Again, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a
Holy, holy way. I'm going to say something else, but you still say, let me know. In this case, it's let me know. Actually, let's just try this. Let me know that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Again. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around.
holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me know that love can heal us all.
Let me know that love can heal us all.
Let me know that love can heal us all.
Let me know that love can heal us all.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me shine in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me shine in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me shine in a holy, holy way. I'm getting cues here. Let me speak in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me speak in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me speak in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me speak in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Yeah. Woo! Thank you, Al. Yay. Wonderful. And Gilman is in the building.